going to be talking about how to work with Chinese suppliers for your luxury pet products. This way, you guys could earn extra income and make some money reselling the products for profits versus taking a loss. This is a common question that I get from many moms over 40 and other kind of side hustlers. How do I work with Chinese suppliers if I want to, let's say, if I already discovered a product and I wanted to resell that product, and like, do I start from scratch? How do I do this? What is the best way for me to work with the Chinese suppliers so this way I don't get scammed, so this way I get the best price? And how do you do this for like a product? And what if you don't know whatever the product is? Like, what if you don't know if it's going to be a great product, but you kind of want to test this and you want to do this in small stages? You have some idea what the product is, but you don't fully understand it. You want to test this. How do you work with Chinese suppliers to bring your product to the market in America and make it available for your customers? And how do you do this in a way where you can differentiate the product, modify it, and engineer it in a way that it makes total sense, and in a way that it's going to be compatible with the manufacturing plants, the factories? And how do you do this in a way that is just a lot easier for you versus working directly with Chinese suppliers, versus working directly with Chinese factories, guys? I highly recommend what you do is the following. You pick a supplier, and keep something in mind. This is something, I mean, you don't have to do this. You could start off directly with factories, but there's pros and cons. With the pros is you're gonna get a cheaper price, but you're gonna be dealing with original kind of there's this whole concept of OEM and ODM, original equipment manufacturer, and ODM, original design manufacturer. So depending on which path you pick, there's going to be certain advantages and disadvantages. But the idea is, if you have a bunch of products and you wanted to resell them on the internet, on TikTok Shop, on Amazon, sure, there's many different ways of doing it, and I'm going to quickly cover that for you. But yeah, this is and thank you guys for joining. I figured I'd just kind of tell you everything what's on my mind for how you could pull this off, for how you could build your luxury pet brand and have your products sourced from China and delivered directly to your TikTok Shop facility, your fulfillment center, and also test it out initially by sending them to Amazon and testing it through eBay. So there's certain validation things you got to do when you building a product, because you don't want to just go ahead and ship entire shipment to TikTok fulfillment center. So there's certain characteristics like that you gotta follow, guys, but I'm gonna try to explain to you as best as I can. And so this way it's just easy for you to understand the differences and make the right decision. So look, if you're a mom over 40 struggling to make any money, and you kind of been scouting around, found some products, and I'm just going to make an assumption you already found the products, you already know how to find products, you saw plenty of my previous videos that shows you exactly how to do that, that explains to you how to find a viral product and how to take it to the market and how to do so effectively and how to bundle it and how to differentiate it, etc., etc., etc. But there's going to be a limit when at some point there's going to be a time period where you need to pull that trigger. And thank you guys for hitting those likes. Thank you guys for joining. Feel free to subscribe, because this is really key information. Some moms over 40 who watch some of my workshops, when they recognize this content, they out of a sudden they come back to me and they say, oh my god, you just saved me. Like some of them come back to me and say, oh, I wish I knew this about 6 months ago before I started designing my own product. And some of you come back and say, oh my god, literally, like, this is insane, like nobody even talks about this stuff. So I want to make it super clear for you guys for how you could do this, for how you could get those products, source them the correct way from China, and sell them across multiple platforms. For now, I'm just going to exclude the part about selling on Amazon and TikTok Shop across platforms. I'm going to exclude that from this workshop. I'm just going to assume that you're already either have an understanding for how to do this, or just watch, like, you just watch my previous workshops and you have an idea already for how to sell it on TikTok Shop and on Amazon. But what I'm going to focus on is on the whole dynamics and mechanical steps that you need to take when working with suppliers, because at the end of the day, there's certain things that you got to do. Obviously, you got to deal with UGC creators to help you promote the product and all those other factors. But once again, guys, I'm going to exclude all those other factors. I'm just, for now, for the purposes of simplicity, I'm just going to be talking about nothing but suppliers in China, and only talking about products. Like, how do you do this? Like, what happens? Who do you work with? There's so many different factories. There's so many, like, one factory could be good with metal, another one could be good with wood, another one could be good with plastic. Like, how do you do this? How do you combine all of those factories together, and how do you pick the right suppliers to work with, and what is the sequence of steps? This is the biggest thing that you will just rarely see anybody talk about this. If you're hearing this, guys, trust me, this is tea. This is incredible tea. You consume this tea, guys, and then you go out, order a bunch of products, and of course you got to differentiate them. And I'm just gonna assume you already know the difference between private label and white label, and I assume that you have some sort of a marketing background, and you're some sort of a mom over 40 who just been eyeing some product, and you'll be like, damn, I need to sell that product, I want to make some profits. So guys, look, the most important part for you to understand is that any of those factories out there, like, if you go out and just contact them and start working with them directly, there's nothing wrong with that. You could. The problem is you're going to get to the situation that you're only dealing with a factory that is only good in one thing. And obviously, if you really want to stand out from the competition and make sure that your product is fire looking, you definitely need to differentiate the product. If you don't differentiate the product, you're going to be cooked. You're going to be just swimming against the current. Instead of swimming against the current, you want to swim with the current, right? So this is the reason why sometimes, like, before I talk about all those mechanical steps, I describe the reasoning why, because in many cases, if I don't do that, then people quickly lose interest and never kind of discover this. But by listening further, if you discover this, all of those mechanics, you possibly, it truly depends on who you are, but it could be possible that you may save yourself colossal amount of time just by listening through some of those workshops, guys. So I'm gonna describe common mistakes moms over 40 do when dealing with Chinese suppliers, and then I'm gonna navigate through all the possibilities that you could solve those mistakes, so this way you don't make them. So guys, I promise you it's gonna be well worth it. And of course, guys, if you still struggle understanding any of that, you could jump into my community. I do have free guide. It's called ThreadStack Digital Power Bundle, that shows you everything from start to finish for how to build your own personal brand, how to build your actual brand, how to take it across multiple platforms, how to systemize it, how to automate it, how to combine all those business processes and take it and use memes and viral trends in order to blow your brand up. In my particular case, as you guys know, when I started out in 2024. I didn't really have any skills whatsoever. And about 2 months into me being a content creator and doing stuff like marketing, testing out different strategies, Pepsi picked up my company and created a drink called Freedom Fusion. So and from my technical experience, I'm a full stack cybersecurity cloud engineer, and I'm a former certified math teacher with dual math degrees. And what I do is I help moms over 40 figure out a way, the easiest path to making that extra side hustling income. And of course, some of that side hustling income can be easily achieved just by doing some gig economy type of tricks and making money here and there. But if you really want it to be like do this slowly in the gradual steps without getting cooked from those Chinese suppliers, and you want to create something on a long term. And I know this is a bit nerve-wracking because not every mom is going to be like, oh, bet I'm going to become a brand owner, I'm going to become the feudal lord. A lot of them, in most of the cases, a lot of moms over 40, they come from TikTok Shop affiliate background, and they're very good in creating content. But I noticed that they create so much content that they kind of just lose themselves in the whole concept of getting other people rich versus you yourself getting rich. And What I do is I remind them, knock on their shoulders, and say, "Hey, yo, what are you doing? Let's solve that problem. Let's try to get you rich versus you just getting other people rich." So this is how I kind of what I do